next level. So what I've been doing instead of just waking up and doing nothing or just going on my phone or whatever, I've been trying to do something productive first. So I've done it twice this week. I've gone for a bit of stretching or just go on YouTube and get like a 15-minute yoga. And I swear to God, before you come at me saying, now what the hell are you doing, at least try it first, because some of them positions it gets you in, it's next level. And then it says, and deep breaths, and I'm thinking, I can barely breathe at all. How can I do a deep breath? And I'm trying to keep quiet at the minute because it's only 7:15, so I'm trying to free my legs up before today's ride. I've put a bit of pressure on myself because I want to set a good time. Even with things like this, even though it's not a proper race, I still want to put a good effort in for myself, basically. But I'm also thinking that the harder I go today, then the more effort I'm going to put in a couple of months down the line to try and beat it. But that's not the way I'm going to think. I'm going to think, go flat out now, and then in the training block, I'll give it 100% effort and then see how effective the training block has been. Yeah, I'm not nervous, obviously, it's not a race, but I think when my first ever race comes round, and this will probably be like the first episode or the second episode in my race series. I said to my mates the other day, I feel like a running race, yeah, you're running and you're racing, it's the first to get to the finish line, but a bike race is actually a race because, I don't know, you have to overtake and things like that. One question I will ask people is, I never believed that running socks would make such a difference. So, do cycling socks make such a difference? Because I feel like there's a lot less impact when you're cycling than running. If you're listening, just let me know in the comments. Do they actually make a difference? Because I used to wear these to run and I get blisters all the time, but now I'm rambling, so help me out.
Delilah, why you wanna bring me so? Delilah, why you wanna bring me so?
So now, to be fair, this is another thing I'd like to get people's opinion on. What PSI should I be pumping my tyres up to? It says the max is 116 PSI, which I think is absolutely crazy. It always throws me off how something that small, you should pump it up a lot more than a car tyre, say. It's not sunny, it's not raining, it's just like a cloudy day, decent tarmac. I'll obviously try and avoid the potholes, who aims for them, but I don't know. Obviously the harder your tyre is, the better you roll, but I'm just going to experiment because I don't know the answer. So I've pumped them up to about 60 PSI, and what I'm going to do today is ride and see how it feels, and then go from there. Bit of trial and error never hurt anybody until it's a pothole. So to give a bit of context anyway, I'm doing this because it's basically the start of my training plan. So I want to do this and see how much fitter I can get in, say, 2 months or something. You right, mate? I ain't talking to myself. I'm going to do this at the start of my training plan and then do it at the end and see how much quicker I can do it, or slower maybe. So yeah, basically it's just so I can measure how much quicker, or it is a possibility, how much slower I can do this. So I'm a bit discombobulated because there's people over there and talking to a cat. I'm quite proud of myself actually, because he was looking at me thinking, what the fuck's he doing, talking to his boots, but I'm still doing it anyway. So there's a step in the right direction. I'm absolutely roasting in this coat, so I'm going to take it off and get going. So basically, I don't know how I'm going to film this one, to be honest. I might just keep it in my mouth and then like do a voice over it afterwards. I'm not sure. I'm about to start now, so that is what I'm going to do. Slightly different from my other videos, but what can I do? So here we go. I've just got back to my car. I've done 5.3k. There's a little warm up. I thought I don't want to just start out as soon as I got out my car. One day I can't wait to have some of them proper pedals, because then you can see like your watts, what you're putting out, and like, I don't know, RPM, is it revolutions per minute? Probably, I don't know, probably made myself look a right knob there, but basically how many times your pedals go around in a minute. I'd like to get them stats one day in the future, but I haven't got them at the minute. And also I want to try and get as aero as possible today. Probably going to mess my back up and my gooch, but it's all fun and games. Can't wait to get back here. Just trying to stall this as much as I can. Just trying to make sure that that's the right angle. Imagine I'd done all of this and it was pointing at the sky. The more I'm waiting here, the more nervous I'm getting. Fuck it, let's go. Right, there we go. That's the dreaded noise. So this route here, it starts literally at the bottom of a hill. 30.6k to go. This is the hill I was on about. I don't want to burn myself out too fast, so I ain't gonna go stupid up here. And I say here, I don't want to kill myself and go up it absolutely flat knacker out to the top, because I know for a fact that that's not the best way to start a best effort ride. So I think my heart rate reached to about 170. I think I said it in the video here somewhere. It's a good job I done a warm up, because I wouldn't fancy getting straight out my car, getting straight on the bike and going up that first. So I got myself a little 5k warm up in and get the legs ready for that. Oh, I wanted to turn around and go back down the hill. 170 heart rate already. When I got to the top of it here, it's kind of like when I focused on trying to get as aero as possible, what I've seen on YouTube basically. Obviously I know it's going to help, because the more aerodynamic you are, the less effort you'll have to put into the pedals to make you go quicker. So I thought, yeah, let's try that out. Right, I feel like my jaw's going to be fucked after this. And then when I come to them lights, I thought, I ain't going to look at my average until I finished either. Leave it a little surprise for me. If my watch is on maps, then I can't see my average time, so I thought I'll just leave it there and then let it be a surprise, because then I feel like it's just me against me. If I could see my average time, I think, oh, I want to push a little bit harder. So I thought I'll just leave that out of sight, out of mind and all that bollocks. So I just left it till a surprise at the end. After I got past them traffic lights there, it's just a little flat road basically. And then as I come to the end here, there's a little bit of traffic, and I thought, this could be a problem here, because obviously it's not like I'm timing the Tour de France, but I want it to be like as fair of a test as possible. So I'll try and do it at roughly the same time the next time I do it, just so it's fair or whatever. I don't really care if it's a couple of seconds out because of a bit of traffic, but I want to see how much fitter I get, or how much fitter. What am I trying to say there? How less fitter? No. How much slower I get basically. What an idiot. So then, yeah. A bit more traffic here again, and I thought, it's gonna fucking kill me, this is. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a pain in the arse, but once I get past like all these roads and I get to some country roads, it gets a little bit better. Mate, my mouth, it's already so dry. This is where I need to make some time up. Bit of a downhill here, so I was trying to get some time back and then keep the power on all the way down here. And then this is where I'll mention, like, I didn't know how to structure this part of the video because I haven't done it before. Like, I've wrote myself some notes down about what I want to talk about, but I thought if I let the video just play and then try and commentate over that, then that'd be a lot more awkward. The video would be a lot longer, and like, I'd have to think of something to say for about an hour and 6 minutes or something like that. So hopefully I managed to get a decent segment out of this part here, and it's not too boring. I mean, I do kind of narrate along the ride. I've got a few markers on my timeline here of like when I start talking and that. Most of it's just heavy breathing, so I apart from that, I might include a few parts when I talk.
Oh, yeah, I've already done 5k.
And I found myself kind of like stalling from making this part of the video because I don't know exactly what to do. I just need to get stuck in and do it, and I'll figure it out along the way as I go.
Here we go.
Into this, like, I won't say fast section, it's just a little bit of a downhill before a little uphill. And then it's this flat section of road what I have to go past twice. Now, little spoiler, as you come out here and it opens up, it's quite nice there. But the second time around I've done this, I felt a lot better than the first, so I'm not sure if my legs just weren't that warm yet or whatever, but a fair play to him here, running on the side of the road. I mean, like, I've been in a few situations like that before, and I think, yeah, you're a lot braver than me. As you come to this section here, this is like one of my favourite of the rides. Coming down here, and I told myself this time, you're not braking at this corner, not this corner, you go past here, you're not braking at this corner. So I'll just let it go. And then when I watch it on camera, I think, fucking hello, you ain't even going that fast. But then when you're on the bike, it's totally different. If you're thinking what a load of rubbish, just trust me for this time.
That felt nice through there then.
And then through it, I think I even mentioned through here, that felt nice through there then.
How stupid fucking hell. How stupid idea was this?
As I'm coming through these trees as well here,
Oh.
I come to a few traffic lights. I don't know what happened this ride, but I swear there was at least 3 sets of temporary traffic lights when there hasn't been one when I've done the route in the past. This is like my most popular route.
I think next time I do it, I need to have a 2-minute rest there again.
Just a nice 31k or whatever, because I'm obviously new to it and I haven't done that many. So I'll just let the video play here and like explain a little bit how I got into cycling in the first place. So I can't really remember when I brought this bike, but I think it was about 18 months ago, a year ago or something, because if you don't know, I signed up to Ironman Wales for this year, so Ironman Wales 2026, and whilst training for that, in the swimming pool, I managed to rupture my ACL and meniscus. Now, God knows how I managed to do that swimming, but that's the story for another day, and I've already got a video about that on my channel if you want to go and have a look at that. So I'm not sure, well, I don't think that I've done both of them in the swimming pool. I think they were already damaged, and then that just put the cherry on top. But now that's left me not being able to swim really. I mean, I couldn't swim anyway. I was just about getting some decent form. I mean, it was only breaststroke form, but look, it absolutely messed me up. I couldn't walk for weeks. I've just found out I've got to have 2 operations, which will probably be in a video of itself. So now I've deferred the Ironman to 2027 Ironman Wales, but I still don't know if I'll be able to do that. Anyway, I had the bike and now I can run, but I just think the risk compared to the reward is too high. This route's nice to be fair, because then it comes out to this reservoir here. I just found it randomly the once on Camoose. Any kind of bumps, like I say here.
I'm starting to regret that my tyres are 60 PSI now on this. Oh, now. I don't know what I've left.
I've mentioned it in the start of this video, 60 PSI in the tyres. Jesus Christ, you can feel that on your, how do I say this without being horrible? You can feel that on like your nether region.
Oh.
I'm just trying to keep my hands like that so I can keep my forearms basically horizontal. So I'm trying to be as aerodynamic as possible. And I say somewhere in this video, I think I need to put that longer stem back on my bike, because when I first brought it, I think it had a 100mm stem or 120mm stem, something like that. I was messing around with my own bike fit, watched about 6-7 YouTube videos on how to get the perfect bike fit, and ended up buying a short stem. Anyway, back to this video. Stop talking absolute waffle.
I feel better this time on this road than I did the first time earlier. Hopefully you can understand me.
Here we go, it opens up, and I was just trying, on my most recent ride, I was just trying to enjoy it as much as possible, because we've had absolutely awful weather, but this 30k flat out was a bit of a different story.
Yeah.
So, as we come back to that road I was on about earlier, where I felt even better, we turned right up here instead of left. This is also one of my favourite parts of the ride here, because this part's nice and quick down here.
Look at that. I think I wanted to put that longer stem on my bike.
I also want to mention, or get your opinion of anyone watching. What do you think of this kind of thumbnail? Just like, I don't know how to explain it, just like a Nothing over the top.
Don't pull out.
Hopefully when you click on the video, it does exactly what it says on the tin. Basically, that's what I want it to do. I mean, if you've clicked on the video, if you've got to this point right now, you probably thought the thumbnail was alright. I just want a bit of feedback if you are watching, like how I can make it better, or if you thought it was alright, just let me know in the comments. As this road opens up here as well, you can see the sun. It looks hotter than it was actually. Now, I'm not complaining at all, because it's probably about perfect.
What a lovely day. To put yourself in pain. Oh, my mouth is so dry. Well, my lips.
I even remember at this point, I felt like I was barely moving whatsoever. Along this road, up until now, I thought I need to do something here, because I don't feel like I'm going anywhere for the effort I'm putting in.
Oh, it feels like I ain't moving.
And as I come through here, I can remember like my leg didn't feel too bad. It felt like I got a bit of a second wind. Now I think I was about 40 minutes into the ride here because I cheated a little bit, and I say it into the GoPro, so I'll probably include that part. But I cheated because I just wanted to make sure that the GoPro was still at the right angle, and then obviously you can see at the top how long it's been recording. So I know for a fact it was 43 minutes, roughly about here. I thought I need to get my toe down.
Fuck knows who that was. I kind of cheated a little bit. I tapped my camera screen just, and it was on 43 minutes. So say I'm probably about 40 minutes into this. Usually when I come past that it says 14, so I'm a little bit quicker than normal. Yeah, I've got to make my time up down these descents as much as I can. 11.7 to go.
But then a few more country lanes, come to a T-junction here, and then
flat out up here.
This is when, like a little punchy hill. Well, I wouldn't even say a little punchy hill, but it's not that steep. But trust me, I felt it. I think that was when my heart rate was the highest, about 176 I think it got to. But then this is the descent I've shown many times on here. I think 3 or 4 times or something like that. But I think this is the fastest time I ever went down it. I said in my last video that there's nothing like going fast on a bike. It just makes you feel like a kid again. It's absolutely wicked. Well, at one point I was even catching up to these cars. Not to sound like, hey Johnny big bollocks or whatever, but look, I must have been moving at a decent pace. I think I got 60 kilometers an hour on this one, so quite proud of that, to be honest. And again, trying to stay as aero as possible. But one thing I have found is like
10k left.
When obviously you're hunched over more, trying to keep out the wind, but then you have to like crank your head up and your eyes up, and then after I finish, oh man, it's like I get vertigo or something. Now I don't know if that's something I just need to get used to, or something a bike fit will fix. So I was thinking to myself, along this big road here, I thought I can get some decent time back here. For any incline or on the flats when I felt like, I don't know, maybe a headwind or something was just zapping all my power and all my energy, I thought I can get some nice time back here. And then you come to this island and then it's relatively uphill and then flat at the end. So I thought I'll bank as much time there as I can without using too much energy.
This is the only bit that's going to kill my speed here. Oh, I'll have to do it next time as well. Let's go. Straight away. Yawn. Oh, that's going to be a problem there.
Because I crossed the road without clicking the first button. I feel like the lights would have just stayed green until someone else came, but then this old bloke came along, and fair play to him, he clicked the button for me, so I know for next time now that if I don't click the button on the one side, I'm stuck in the middle.
Okay, thank you.
Now this part is like a big, it's like quite a long hill, and then it gets steep at the end. So this is like my next question. What is the done thing? Is it like stay seated for as long as possible and then stand up when you feel like your legs are on absolute fire, or just stand up whenever you want, whenever you feel most comfortable? Now I know this comes down to preference, so I'll ask the question in like efficiency terms. What's the best to preserve energy but be the quickest? And one thing I have found as well is, this is one piece of advice I can give, I have been messing around with my bike fit like I said, and then a couple of weeks ago I kept moving my seat a little bit higher, say like 5mm every ride.
Right, go on then. 5.5k left.
That was when I'd done the 100k ride, and I felt my legs, like honestly I could not believe how much difference just moving my seat up could make. Now, my legs ached a lot less. I know that it's a lot more quad dominant if your seat's lower, because the lower your seat is, the more angle you get through your knee, so you have to generate more force. But then you don't want to have it too wide, because I think it can cause all kinds of problems. Or there you go again. A bit of trial and error has worked out for me. I even thought to myself as I was riding up this hill at the end, I know there's not much more route left. So I thought I'd be absolutely battered by now, but my legs, I felt a lot better than I thought I would. It was like I was surprised in a good way, which is obviously always a good thing.
This is a make or break here.
As I come to this housing estate here, I knew I could try and get some speed down here.
Fucking Valentino Rossi here. Ooh.
I know it's quite fast in here, it always feels fast down here.
3.5k.
But I thought, right, this is the time to just like give it everything basically. I want to leave absolutely nothing left in the tank.
Here it counts.
The whole way through this ride I was making some questionable noises. Now I was making them more than ever. As I know I was coming towards the end of the ride.
If this gives me 29.9 now, so I'll be gutted. 1.5. I'm seriously pushing here. 174 hot rate.
And then as I got back to where I started, I realised I had like 300 metres left or something, so I had to add a bit on at the end. There we go.
Man, I've got disco foam all around my mouth. I bet he's looking at me thinking, what are you doing? To be honest, I felt a lot better than I thought I would. My lower back is in absolute bits though. And my legs and nearly just fell off. Yeah, that. To be honest, I got nowhere near what I was hoping for, but I'll talk about the stats later at home or something. I'll probably get it on my laptop, go through it at the end.
Am I impressed with the stats? No, to be fair, yeah, I am a little bit. I know that doesn't seem very enthusiastic, but I was probably expecting closer to 30 kilometers per hour than 27. Or maybe I was expecting 28, 29 point something maybe, but at least I've got my first ride done. So I can then do it in a few weeks and measure. So the elevation in total was 397 metres. So say we'll round it up, 400 metres of elevation. And the actual race is 691. So let's round up again, say 700 metres. So there's less elevation in the race than if I'd done that route twice, which is good to know. So what's next? So I'll probably at some point make a video about a whole training week, because now I've got a training plan. I'm still including some strength work, what I've been doing anyway, because I didn't want to just scrap everything what I've been doing off. I wanted to just implement this training as well as what I'm already doing. Obviously some of that's going to have to go, which I'll show you in that video, but that could very well be the next video I make. That's what's coming in the next few days / weeks. So yeah, 30k flat out. Not the time I was hoping for, but that leaves more room for improvement, which is the positive points I'll look at. I'll see you in the next one.